Now, it's been a week of baby news. First there was the royal birth, of course, and now the Scottish Conservative leader Ruth Davidson's announced she's expecting a baby with her partner Jen.
And she'll be the first political party leader anywhere in the UK to take maternity leave. But Ms Davidson said today that she was simply doing what thousands of working women do every year. Well, there are two working women here now. Let's have a chat with Lisa and Sophie Charlwood-Green and their children, Leo and Seb. Welcome all to the Timeline studio. Thanks very much for coming in. Just tell us a little bit about your family.
So we have two boys. We both got pregnant. So Sophie had Leo first, and a couple of years later, it was my turn to get pregnant with Seb.
And how did you decide who got to be a mum first?
Well, I was bursting to go first, and as I'm a year older than Lisa, we both agreed that I would go first.
And how did you go about choosing a donor?
Well, first we had to discuss how we wanted to have our children, and we both really wanted a known donor, so somebody that we knew, not necessarily in their lives all the time, but somebody that they would know who they were. We're very lucky that a family friend helped us, and they actually now call him Daddy. They do have a relationship with him. Although he's not very good with the whole nappy changing thing, but fortunately don't need to worry about that anymore.
Lots of men are.
Ah, yes. And boys, what's the best thing about having two mums?
They're nice. They're really nice and cuddly.
Cuddly.
And a wee cuddle.
A wee cuddle.
How lovely.
Absolutely
How lovely.
lovely.
And was it always the intention to have Dad being a part of his life, or is that something that their life, or is that something that has evolved?
It's definitely evolved. When we first started talking with their father about how we were going to do it, it was going to be that he was like donor daddy, that they might see him occasionally like a friend of the family, but as soon as Alf met Leo, because he was our firstborn, you could see he just fell in love with him, and we agreed that, yeah, it would work if he wants to see them every 2 weeks. And it just sort of naturally happened that he would be called Daddy, and he's absolutely fantastic with them, and he doesn't have any obligations, but he is a part of their life because we want him to be, he's part of the family now.
Leo, you get on well with Daddy? What's the best thing about Daddy?
He has a big house.
I thought you were going to say bye to lots of sweets or something like that. Lisa, obviously some couples choose to have an anonymous donor. Why was it important for you to make the connection with the individual who was donating?
So I think for us, for both of us, it was absolutely a joint decision. For us, it just felt important to just have that history, that background. We wanted somebody that we knew and respected and cared about, and their dad is all of those things.
What was your reaction when you heard Ruth Davidson's news today? I mean, she says she's just doing what thousands of other women do.
Yeah, she absolutely is. I think for me, my first reaction was, I hope she has a better pregnancy than me. I find my pregnancy really tough, and Sophie was very, very easy, so I was definitely...
I think Sophie might beg to differ there.
The look on her face tells a different story.
It was emotionally more difficult, whereas Lisa's was physically definitely more challenging for her. Mine was definitely more emotionally challenging. So.
Do you think it's easier to support each other because you've each... No. Because you've each been through the same thing?
I thought it would be. You would think, yeah, you can empathise, but what she was going through, she had a lot of medical issues that happened, and I didn't have that. I couldn't relate to that.
Right.
So whatever I said, it's like you don't understand. She'll still have all the hormones going on, so there's no, I couldn't understand where she was at, however hard I tried, and she couldn't really understand where I was at because she hadn't been pregnant yet at that point. So, no.
And given the news today about Ruth Davidson, given her high profile, do you think that helps to make it easier for other couples to have children of their own, and for that to be perfectly normal and accepted?
Absolutely. I think she sets a really good role model for that it's possible. It's not really that different in some ways, although it is in some. We're a family.
Lisa?
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that, when we were both pregnant, really we didn't have any other role models to look up to, and really there aren't that many same-sex couples that have had children in the public eye. So I think it's really important that she is showing a good standard. I worked all the way through my pregnancy, as did Sophie. So from that point of view, I'm delighted.
Well, it's good to speak to you, Lisa, Sophie, Leo and Seb. Thank you very much for being so well behaved as well. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.